Iran security forces have been deployed onto the streets, attempting to head off anti-government demonstrations in that country. This is some amateur footage which has been posted from the city of Shiraz, but opposition websites say protesters have been gathering in several other cities, including the capital, Tehran. The state news agency says the daughter of Iran's former president, Hashemi Rafsanjani, was arrested for attending one of those demonstrations, but that she has now been released. Our Tehran correspondent is James Reynolds. He's unable to report from inside Iran. He's been following developments from London.
We know that there is this huge security presence in Tehran. We're told that even traffic police have been replaced by riot police, so worried are the authorities about what may happen. Because, of course, the opposition had said that the 20th of February today was the day that they were going to hold a second day of protests. It's been very difficult to get reliable information about how many protests have gone ahead, about how many protesters may have been involved. But we've been getting reports of several gatherings. We don't know how many people. We've had one report of tear gas being used by the authorities in Valley Asr Square as well. What
about the arrest of the former president's daughter? How significant is that?
It may be significant, but let's remember she was arrested before in 2009 after disputed presidential elections. So she is someone who is known to speak out against the current regime, and her father, the former president, Rafsanjani, is from a different faction of conservatives than the government.
The Speaker of the Parliament, Ali Larijani, has said that Iran supports the protesters around the rest of the Middle East and North Africa. So clearly Iran doesn't equate itself with those regimes who are being protested against elsewhere.
No, in fact, it believes it is the inspiration for the protesters in other areas. It says that it was the first country to have an Islamic revolution and that other countries around the region, Tunisia and Egypt in particular, are following. But of course, protesters have said, why are they allowed to protest? Why are we not allowed to protest? And the Iranian government has said you are allowed to protest, but it was on a certain day, on the 11th of February, with the support of the government. They said everything else is, according to the government, political and divisive.
Just finally, about the calls for the execution of a couple of the leaders of the opposition, is that designed to scare people off other protests, or is it actually serious? Is there a possibility that they will be executed?
Very difficult to tell. Let's look at who called for that execution. It was called for on Tuesday by more than 200 members of parliament. So it does have some kind of establishment approval. But several judiciary spokesmen have spoken since then. They have not repeated that call. And on Friday, a leading conservative cleric said in one of his sermons that they did not need to be executed because metaphorically, he said they had already been executed. Their careers were over.
James Reynolds.